What's a rule that was implemented somewhere that massively backfired? My city has issues with loud bikes vehicles. So as a deterrent, the city put up decibel meters that displayed how loud your engine is, similar to those signs that read your speed and display it to you. But instead of deterring anyone, people would pull up to these signs and rev the heck out of their engines to see who could get the highest decibel count. The city took the counters down within a week. I work in manufacturing and we get paid piece rate, so the more I run the more I get paid. We also have a base hourly pay rate of $10 HR, so whichever pays more, the hourly or the piece rate, is what we get paid for the day. On bad days sometimes they bump us to $12 HR for the day, and when we train new people we get paid $15 HR to compensate for having to slow down or stop our machines to teach the new people. The big boss, my boss, came in last week. Now he used to work on the line like I do now, but you can tell he's living comfortably in his corporate life and has forgotten some of the bad parts of this job. He told my boss that we are to no longer receive training pay because, by his logic, if we are working with someone we should be making more than $15 HR. Anyway, and these past 3 weeks or so we have been doing a lot of training. So a few of us got together at the end of the day and agreed, if they aren't paying us, we won't train people. We will teach the new people enough to make us some money and leave the training to the designated trainers. 2 people split between 15 or so new hires, but they make $17.50 HR. The policy lasted 4 days. Buddy of mine told me about a happy hour promotion a bar ran close to his campus. Apparently the special was something stupid like 50-cent beers that lasted until the first person went to the bathroom. As he tells it, the first few weeks went without incident, but once it got more popular, people were going to extreme lengths to not be that guy, including wearing adults' diapers. Once people tried to covertly pee in corners and trash cans, the bar cancelled the promotion. Hawaii had a rat problem following the influx of European visitors. Rat stowaways. It was a big problem because many species of Hawaiian birds are only found in Hawaii and had never had predators. The rats were destroying the native bird population, so they decided to bring in mongooses. Yes, that's the plural, to kill the rats. Problem is that rats are nocturnal and mongooses are diurnal. They never see one another. Both are now happily feasting on whatever is left of the native birds. Fun fact, this actually inspires the use of Alolan Rattata and Yungoos in Pokemon Sun and Moon. At my old job, some people abused lunch, so they made a few of them text in when they started and finished lunch. One guy specifically would text the start time, place he got food, his order in detail, the address, price, etc. Even when he bought a snack while out. That stopped a week later. Worked for a marketing firm that often locked you out of the building if you weren't back in your cubicle by the second your break was up. They revoked your break the next day as punishment. This is not legal here in New York State. They got into a lot of trouble. I once saw a true crime show that was about a kidnapping turned murder case. 2 guys had abducted another guy for his car, I think, and had him in the trunk. The perps started talking, and one of them said, you know, if we get caught, the sentence of kidnapping is the same as murder. So, we might as well kill this guy. That way, we have less chance of getting caught. The chilling part was that the poor guy in the trunk probably heard every word, comma. When Domino's said all pizzas would be delivered in 30 minutes or less or your pizza was free, all the delivery drivers kept getting in car accidents to get your pizza to you on time, so it wouldn't come out of their paycheck. It was a short-lived venture. School I go to has a rule that says if you come late 3 times, you get an unjustified absence, which lowers your grade quite a bit. So if someone is late they pretty much always skip class so they can get an absence that can be justified by simply signing it. Also, the infamous Barbados vs Grenada soccer match. The organizers of the 1994 Caribbean Tournament Cup had a rather odd change to the rules for extra time. If a game was still drawn at full time, it would go to extra time but the first goal scored would win. This is perfectly normal, the golden goal rule. What was different is that they ruled that winning this way would count as having won by 2 goals for the purpose of tournament qualification, instead of just 1. Barbados went into a match against Grenada needing 2 goals to qualify for the main tournament. If they lost, or won by only 1 goal, Grenada would qualify instead. Under the regular rule, this would mean that if the match went to extra time, there would basically be no point Barbados playing because even if they scored, they would only win by 1 goal and not qualify. But the 2-point rule would motivate them to play on. Sound good? Well, you might be able to guess what happened. The match looked like it was about to end with Barbados 2-1 Grenada. A win for Barbados, but not the 2 goals they needed. So Barbados deliberately scored an own goal in the last few minutes of the match, making the score 2-2, hoping to trigger extra time and a chance to score the magic 2 value goal. The Grenada players quickly realized they could do the same, score an own goal to make the match 3-2 to Barbados, which would have Barbados winning by only 1 goal, so Grenada would qualify. But the Barbados players realized that too, and so they began to defend Grenada's goal. So for the last 7 minutes of the match, Grenada were trying to score a goal in either net, since scoring a goal against Barbados would give them 3-2 and they would win the match, and scoring in their own goal would make it 3-2 to Barbados, so they would lose the match but win the qualification, and Barbados were defending both. Amazingly, Barbados did actually manage to do so, successfully defending themselves while half of their team were defending Grenada's goal against Grenada, and then scored the golden goal in extra time and qualified. Middle school wanted to create a trash-free environment, so they removed the trash cans from the parking lots, halls, and cafeteria. Then just told the kids to toss your trash when you get home or in a classroom. The amount of litter skyrocketed overnight. After a week or so they brought back the cans. A salon I worked at one day decided to drug test the hairstylists. Out of 12 stylists, 11 failed. The manager texted everybody the next day and told them to come to work. I worked at Macy's one Christmas and found out the reason why you can never find anyone at the registers is because they don't allow employees to stand at the register because it's intimidating. I can't tell you how many times I gave up trying to purchase something there because I couldn't find anyone to ring me up. I used to work at a semiconductor lab, looking for defects in computer chips with an electron microscope. The work is complicated, precise, and easy to frick up. One wrong move, and the sample is toast, a lip, lost in processing, as they say in the biz. Management got really angry at lips and started clamping down really hard on technicians who did them. If you fricked up a sample, you got written up. The problem is that not all jobs are created equal. Some jobs are really easy, and other jobs are really hard and risky. So, the smart technicians started taking all of the easy jobs, and the idiots who didn't know any better started taking all of the hard jobs. The lip rate then went up, and it created a really contentious atmosphere in the lab of people screwing each other over to take the easiest jobs. Morale plummeted, and people started leaving to go to other groups that weren't crap sandwiches. This drove lab output down even further. My last job got a new facility head. She didn't like the fact that we wore shorts in a kitchen in the summer when temps would get over 100. She made a new rule that shorts weren't allowed, but skirts were fine. My supervisor told me I didn't have the stones to wear a skirt to work. I am a male. Guess who showed up to work the best day in a skirt? The new rule lasted about a month before the new leader got tired of cross-dressers running around the facility. Once I started it, all the other guys started wearing skirts as well. I do not miss that place. A hotel I used to work for decided they were having an alcohol-free holiday party. This didn't sit well with the people who'd been working there for years and were accustomed to a full bar at the party. The staff parking lot ended up being full of people drinking in their cars trying to get a good buzz to carry them through the party, and most people ended up getting way drunker than they would have, so the party was a crap show. Friend had a non-alcohol wedding. Nearly everyone took ecstasy instead. Complete opposite of the sober event the parents wanted. You have to eat whatever you touch was a rule in my kindergarten, which led to all the children touching all the food to call dibs on it. Washington state made it mandatory for schools to drop their room temperatures to save on electricity. The result? Teachers brought their own heaters into their offices and use of electricity increased. I once worked at a pizza place. Our manager got tired of the colorful language one day and decided to enact a swear jar. She said she'd charge us a quarter for every time we cussed. My co-worker Jay was the first person to get penalized. She said, "You owe a quarter." He popped a dollar bill in and said, "Take a freaking dollar, freaking B." It didn't last long. Ahahaha. I worked somewhere that did a swear jar. I just buy my swears for the day. When I quit they gave me all the money in the jar because most of it was mine anyway. You have been visited by Post Doggo. Don't worry, you do not need to comment to have good luck. Post Doggo just came to give you good vibes and to wish that your crush or whoever you want texts you.